hot seat.
My goodness, I can't wait. Is that our next topic? I'll let you signal the finish of this story.
Go ahead, let's get it started.
Man, this world is coming to an end. This is it. This is officially it. And I only say that because if you look at the current climate for today, it's like you niggas have lost your mind, like straight up. I wanted to ask you this: did you look into why they were opposed to the SAVE Act? Remember, we had talked about it last time. You was like, I don't know anything about it, but I'll look into it. Yeah. On why the Democrats were going to vote against showing an ID in order to vote.
Yeah, I looked into it. Go ahead.
Oh, no. And what did you think?
I think it's pretty similar to the sentiment that I had when you had briefly described it. And it was just like, it feels like the Democrats just want to, or they're acting as if like, their constituents have no personal agency or competency enough to get a state ID to be able to show up to the voting polls and the other basic things that that the SAVE Act was requiring. And it's like, I don't see any reason that you would truly be opposed to it outside of the fact that it's coming from Republicans and you are questioning their motives behind it. Because I'm like, I can see, the other side as far as them feeling like, well, the Republicans aren't, doing this because they care about, voting legitimacy and all that, whatever, all the stuff that they're trying to combat. It's like they're not doing this for that particular reason. They're doing this because they happen to know the statistics of, a certain communities not having these things already. And they know that if we put this stuff into law, then it's going to affect their ability to go and vote for our competitors. So I'm like, if you're looking at it from that perspective, then I'm like, I get it. But at the same time, it's like, that's politics. But as far as like them saying that it will actually, hinder their ability to vote, then it's just like, so you don't think that these people are able to go to the DMV and make an appointment or stand in line for a couple hours like everybody else and get an ID or get a driver's license or whatever?
And to me, that was the key point. When that came out, and again, like we waited, but it's like when that came out, it had to clearly show that right now they're telling you, and this is in terms of what the Democratic Party, because a lot of people are flipping out about this in terms of what the message sends, not so much of the SAVE Act itself, but the message it sends of what currently Democrats think of their voters. And I find that to be like the start of the end, because now more and more people are catching on to the fact like, hey, basically these motherfuckers think we stupid. I mean, there's no other way around it. You gotta think somebody is got no common sense to the fact that they can go get a driver's license or verify that they are a citizen of the United States in order to go do what they consider to be one of the most important things in terms of their humanity here in the United States. And the Democrats clearly said, no, we got to hold hands, like we got to hold these little monkeys by the hand and, gently walk them across the street and show the little monkeys. Like, I was going to put an AI video together with a teacher in front of a whiteboard saying red button, blue button, and you just hear a whole bunch of chattering monkeys in the background. And then when the camera switches, they sitting there trying to teach them how to hit the blue button. Belongs to, that's a different. But back to my thing is that that's what they're being looked at as, treated as. And to me, it's like, if you haven't come to this point and be like, man, they had for 62 years, you mean to tell me for 62 years and you still trying to put stuff together for black folks, and then you tell them that you're not smart enough to go get an ID or, how to register to vote. And then the Gavin Newsom comment with the, I got a 960, huh? I'm like you. I was like, nigga, they telling you right in front of your face that you stupid as fuck. but somehow you still buy into it. I'll give you my last example and I'll let it go. But the Jasmine Crockett thing had me so like, oh, y'all done lost your mind. Here it is. And it wasn't just her, but I'll start on this point. But if you go back and play and listen to all the comments that Democrats had when all of this illegal immigration was going on, not one time did you hear them mention or say that we want immigrants or Mexicans or Hispanics, the Latino X community, to come here and get a better life so they can be scientists, that they can be doctors, they can be business on. None of the top shit. What did they tell them? We need somebody to pick our fruits. We need somebody to make our beds. Who's going to be working in the hotels for us? And that's a form of slavery. But if you go back and listen carefully, not one Democrat ever said to giving them the ability to be the things that they are, right? And now you cry because Jasmine Crockett lost her Senate bid because she stood on these things. She had the little gathering where she told everybody, "Oh, how many of y'all going out there to pick cotton? We done picking cotton. They can't pay us for it." So you automatically think somebody is coming in as a lower class to you, which now they incorporate with everybody else as being lower class, and we need to help you think. Then she turned around and said that Hispanics had a slave mentality because they choose to vote a different way. I just so happen to know a lot of Hispanics, and I think like 80% of them are smarter than me because they got businesses, family, houses, cars, the whole thing, and came over here with nothing. So they were smart enough to get that far. But here it is again that you're telling a group of people that they're not smart enough to do the things that, everybody else does. And because of that, you lost, and it instantly becomes their fault. I was like, this shit is crazy. You mean you're not going to take any accountability for saying the stupid shit that you said when you were on stage, and you're going to blame everybody else that you dogged out because of it? And I was like, this got to be a fucking dream world. How does that make sense? I can talk about you like you ain't shit, and if you don't come vote for me, now it's your fault?
Well, I don't think that she saw those comments the way that you see them. Obviously, otherwise she wouldn't have said it.
What?
Apparently, she didn't see
She
that.
had no friends. Ain't nobody around her saying like, "Hey, that was dumb as fuck what you just said. That's gonna cost you an election."
Whether or not they did or not, it's too late at that point.
Yeah, it
She
is.
just gonna get back on stage and be like, "Okay, what I said on stage was wrong, and it's not how blah blah blah." It's like, and that ain't gonna happen.
No, it's just.
So it's like, she said it. And apparently she didn't in the moment, or whenever she wrote the speech, or whoever wrote the speech for her. I don't know. I don't know. From the few times I've seen her, talk, it doesn't seem like she's speaking from like a memorized speech or anything like that. It seemed like she, speaking from the cuff. But whenever she came up with that, with that analogy or that, that example or whatever, like apparently she didn't think that anybody would take offense to it.
Yeah,
Which I never when I was reading it. I'm sorry, but whenever I was like looking into it and I heard her make that comment, I didn't even read into it that way. Like when I heard it, I'm like, unfortunately, it made me ignorant. I was like, yeah, I guess she got a point. Like I didn't look at it as they're coming over. These jobs that she's mentioning are less than or they're being pigeonholed to have those type of jobs and those type of jobs only. Like what Donald Trump said, they're taking all the black jobs. So it's like, that seemed like, looking at it now from your perspective, I'm like, those seem like very similar comments to me. Like,
So I can explain the black jobs comment if I hadn't before, because it's real easy to run down this list in terms of like who's the lowest educated population.
Like I just said, I'm like, those are the jobs that she's saying that black folks don't want to do. So the Hispanic people are going to come in, like the jobs that are at the lower rung of the earning potential.
I still don't understand that black jobs like don't want to do a job, but I'm like,
yeah, but it's like I think even that term now is like out of date. Like the black job, the lower job, like you can even think of that the same way as far as McDonald's. Like everybody got that first job you do that nobody else want to do. Now whether if you're doing that forever, you can't be a grocery store baggage for 20 years. Clearly, there's something wrong with her.
You be the baddest motherfucking bagger like ever walked this planet. Shit.
Go to the grocery store and you see how old them people are that's up in that bag and groceries and stuff. But they could be 40, 50 years old, still bagging.
I'm saying, like, if you just got that job, and whether if, you know, I know there's a lot of people that get out of jail and they're trying to turn their life around, or, you know, something else happened in their life, whether if it's mental illness or something, so you have to get a simple job. Like, a lot of people see those or they will not see those, but, like, if you were a bagger and you started at 18 and you working at Trader Joe's, years later, Trader Joe's is the big, giant, multi-Walmart size corporation, and you're still a bagger?
I don't think it's Walmart size yet.
I mean, nah, it ain't Walmart. Of course it's
It's
not.
gonna be a while for anybody to get to Walmart size. But I get what you're saying, though. But
like,
shit, they ain't getting they ain't getting a slice of that pie.
Nah, you know, they too, they ain't corrupt yet. That's why they ain't Walmart size. When you selling all that processed food in your store, then you be like, no, this food is clean. I go to Trader Joe's for the wine. So, you know, you going But as far as Jasmine Crockett, like...
Yeah, I was going to pivot back to that.
In the beginning, I liked Jasmine Crockett, like no bullshit. Because she wasn't as bad as she was now, like toward the end. You know, you got that beginning and then you get worse and worse and worse. And then like...
She just got more comfortable.
She just got more comfortable because she was clapping back appropriately, as some black people were saying, like, oh, you're not doing too much. But then now, you know, you get on that Democrat train, Republican train, where the master come tell you, we need you to amp it up. We need you to get the black vote back in line. We need you to relate to them more. Talk about slavery. Talk about reparation. As you say, picking cotton. It brings them back in. You know how black people is. Like oh, he mentioned racism. He mentioned slavery. He mentioned something that's relatable to me as a black person, even though I never picked cotton. Nobody in my family is you know, a descendant of slave, or if they are, or they, you know, you don't have that mentality, or you a high class earner black person, but you're still, you know, subjecting yourself to that idea. You know how you get pulled back in, and you got to rally up the black people to get them back in line because, you know, they straying from the sheep. They trying to think on their own. You bring them back in, but I feel like she started to do that a whole lot more. But it's not about race. It's about she wasn't doing shit for her voters. She kept the same message going on about Trump picking cotton, all this. Like, you didn't do anything, because I looked up her stuff. She wasn't doing nothing.